Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. I know there's going to be a few that are still joining here, especially on the East Coast, as it's lunch break for most. But since it's the top of the hour, we'll go ahead and get things started here. So again, really appreciate everyone taking the time to be here as we dive into our webinar titled Frontier Firms, Leveraging AI to Accelerate Digital Transformation. For those that I haven't met yet, my name is Greg Kennerly, and I'm the East Regional Sales Manager here for Xoriant. I've been with the company for 2.5 years now and based out of Wilmington, North Carolina. So really excited to kick off today's session before handing it over to our technical SEs who will be leading the main discussion and demos today. So joining me in that discussion is Sumit, who is our lead AI solution architect here at Xoriant, based on the West Coast in California. And then we also have Harry from Microsoft, who is our cloud solution engineer, joining us from sunny Costa Rica. So those will be the two that primarily be walking you through some great content today and live demos and really showcasing how organizations are starting to use AI to drive digital transformation at scale. So to give a quick agenda and overview, let me just skip over. So we'll start with a quick overview about Xoriant and who we are, what we do, and how we partner with Microsoft across the data and AI landscape. And then we'll dive into what defines a frontier firm, really what sets these organizations apart and how they'll be leading the way. And then from there, we'll explore the technologies powering frontier firms, followed by some real world use cases, including examples of manufacturing, procurement, and legal operations. And within those, we'll showcase demos as well onto how to actually build the multi-agent system. And then finally, we'll cap things off and talk about how to get started on this AI journey with Xoriant and Microsoft for any type of AI engagement. And then we'll wrap up with some Q&A and follow-up information. And we'll also include some educational reference links in the deck that you can review after the session. So as we go through today, please feel free to drop any questions in the chat or Q&A tab that's available. We will get to as many as we can during the time set aside for Q&A. And if we do run out of time, we'll make sure to send a one-to-one note to follow up, and we can either schedule a quick 30-minute call to have a discussion, or we can bounce emails back and forth and get you the answers that you need. And in addition to that, please note that this whole session will be recorded, and we'll provide a recording link in a follow-up email as well as the presentation deck. So if you do have any team members or anybody else that wasn't able to join today that you'd like for them to listen in, you'll have access to pass that along. Right, we will jump right into the intro. So to give a background on us, Xoriant is a global systems integrator and product developer partner for Microsoft. We've been around for more than 33 years with 21 years of partnership alongside Microsoft, and actually over 13 years directly developing solutions for them, including Microsoft's dream demonstrations to show the latest and the greatest, all capabilities on Azure. So as a Microsoft partner, we hold advanced specializations across data and AI, digital and app innovation, security, and infrastructure. So think of us as a full Azure technology stack partner. And our goal here and our objective is to support your journey and work alongside your teams to deliver any type of targeted end state. So again, anything along the Azure tech stack, we're here to help. And we'll talk about next steps of how to engage us and how we can help your teams along the way in the back end of today's discussion. So with that, I will hand things over to Harry to start deep diving into today's discussion.
Thank you, Gregory. Yeah, today I'm going to kind of show you what a frontier firm is. But before we go into the definition, first let's take a look at some numbers, because a common executive question is, does agentic AI actually deliver ROI? And the short answer is absolutely. And the data from some of our customers here at Microsoft is already in. Organizations using AI agents are seeing 40% boost in developer productivity, 67% overall productivity gains, and in some workflows up to 10x efficiency improvements, because agents take on repetitive and high friction work. So this directly translates to speed. Teams are moving 50% faster to market, with task completion times reduced by up to 98%. well, that's not an incremental improvement. That's an structural shift on how work gets done. The financial impact is just as compelling, and well, companies report $150 million reductions in customer support costs, while also seeing 130% estimated revenue increases. This is why frontier firms are pulling ahead. They are not experimenting with AI. They are operationalizing it, embedding agents directly into everyday workflow, where the ROI is immediate, visible, and compounding. So Gregory, we can move to the next slide. So as we go into the definition of a frontier firm, let's talk about what we mean here at Microsoft by an AI frontier firm. And well, this isn't about replacing people with AI. It is about AI-operated, human-led organizations. Agents handle execution at machine speed, while humans stay firmly in control, providing judgment, direction, and accountability. In a frontier firm, work is no longer constrained by an org chart. Instead, teams form dynamically around outcomes, not departments. And the problems get solved by the best combination of humans and AI agents, exactly when and where they are needed. And this leads to a new mindset. It's what we call here the agent boss mentality. So in this case, every employee becomes a manager of AI agents, delegating tasks, reviewing outputs, and scaling their impact far beyond what was possible before. The result is a next generation company, faster, smarter, and more adaptive, where human creativity is amplified by on-demand intelligence and hybrid human agents teams. That's the frontier firm. Now let's move on to the next slide. In a frontier firm, don't adopt AI just to automate tasks. They use it to fuel ambition. At the core is a simple but powerful framework. Reinvent how you engage customers and employees, reshape how work gets done, and bend the curve on innovation. This happens when AI is embedded directly in the flow of human ambition, not as a side project, but as a daily collaborator. Innovation becomes ubiquitous, from data to decisions. And the result, well, faster experimentation, smarter processes, richer customer experience, and employees who are empowered, not replaced. This is how frontier firms turn AI into a sustained competitive advantage. Not just technology, but a real transformation. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Gregory.
Thanks, Harry. Appreciate that. We'll move on to technologies powering frontier firms. So Sumit.
Sure. Hello, everyone. Let's quickly understand ways to build agents. There are 3 ways to build AI agents, depending on how much control you want versus how much speed and ease you want. The top arrow says on the screen, moving left to right gives more ease of use, integrations, and faster development. The bottom arrows, moving right to left gives more control, visibility, and customization. In the middle, you see, let's start with the left box, which says IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Bring your own framework. Example, Microsoft Agent Framework. Maximum control, but you manage more details. The middle one, which says PaaS, platform as a service. Managed platform for Microsoft, example, Microsoft Foundry, AI Foundry. Balanced, still code, but Microsoft manages more for you. And we will later show use cases built on this managed platform during the webinar. On the rightmost side is SaaS, right? Low code, example, Copilot Studio. Faster, drag and drop, best for quick business solutions. So choose IaaS for control, PaaS for balance, SaaS for speed. Next slide, please. So let's see with Azure, can you use what development tools of your choice? So if you see on your left are developer tools like Copilot Studio, Visual Studio, GitHub, and Foundry SDK. This is where you design, code, integrate agents. In the middle is on the top, it's the AI Factory, which is Microsoft AI Foundry. It is the core platform to build and run AI solutions. It connects two planes, I would say, apps. You can deploy on AKS, Azure Container Apps, App Service, or functions, Azure Functions, I would say. On the data plane, you say use Azure databases, Microsoft Fabric, or Azure Databricks to prepare and serve data for AI. On the right is where it runs. You can deploy AI applications on Azure Cloud, Azure Arc for hybrid, Foundry Local on the edge side for local and edge needs. And the foundation across everything is resiliency, security, and governance, meaning safe, compliant, and reliable AI from end to end. Next slide, please. So here, think of Microsoft AI Foundry as, or I should say Azure AI Foundry as a single platform to build, run, manage AI applications and AI agents end to end. At the top, you can develop using familiar tools like GitHub, as I mentioned earlier. In the middle are the core capabilities like models, agent service, IQ for grounding and context, tools to make actions, and machine learning for training and deployment. Foundry also connects to many enterprise systems using pre-built connectors and MCP tools. So agents can pull data and execute workflows across apps like SAP, ServiceNow, and Fabric. And it is growing. In future, you will see more connectors are being released as part of this platform. The control plane is the central layer to operate and manage everything. And at the bottom, security, compliance, and governance are built in using Microsoft services like Entra ID, Agent 365, Purview, and Defender. So in short, build faster, connect to your systems, manage centrally, and stay secure by design. Over to you, Greg.
Thanks, Sumit. Appreciate that. All right. With that, we'll move ahead, submit to the manufacturing use case.
So let me start with the use case. This is about central procurement. Teams receive any function, procurement function you will find in any organization. This is organizations. In central procurement, teams receive many purchase requests every day, different materials, different suppliers, different contracts. The challenge is requests get delayed because people must manually check many things, which is which supplier is best. Is the supplier risky? What is the lead time? Is the contract valid? Can we negotiate price? So the goal is simple: process procurement request faster, save cost, and stay compliant without overloading the buyers. Now, this portal, if you see on my screen, shows how we solve it using multi-agent approach on Azure platform. On the top, you would see outcome, active request, average price. Let me see if you can see the screen. Greg, you can see the screen, correct? Okay. And then Greg, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. In the middle, you see recent procurement request. Each request is handling by a specialist agent and moved through statuses like processing, completed, or HIL review. HIL review means human in the loop. A buyer approves like this. A buyer approves when a system needs confirmation. On the right, let me switch to the right screen here. You see agent activity, a live log of what the agents are doing. The BOM selector, this one. Selector finds matching suppliers for the requirement. Then you have supplier risk agent. Risk agent checks supplier health. And like that, you have many agents. You can they give the live log of what activities these agents are doing. Lead time predictor estimates delivery timeline, contract, compliance, validates contract and policy, negotiate agent supports better pricing. So overall, the use case is take a procurement request, run it through these agents, and either autocomplete or route to a buyer for approval, resulting in faster procurement, better decisions, and measurable savings. I'll show you the architecture. So let's see the architecture of this. Here's the multi-agent architecture. At the top, we have procurement portal. Users can either use web dashboard or simply use Microsoft's 365 Copilot chat. In the middle, we have Xoriant Orion AI Studio, which is the agent orchestration layer. Here, the key brain is the orchestrator agent. It reads the request, routes the work to the right specialist agents. Here are the main agents we spoke about. On the left, here, we have Fabric, which is the data foundation. It brings data from systems like Ariba and ERPs using Data Factory, stores it in one lake, and can also consume real-time inventory streams. So agents always get trusted, up-to-date business data. At runtime, agents use Azure AI for LLM hosting, Azure AI search for RAG, contract lookup, and safety filters. And at the bottom, we have enterprise controls like monitoring, Key Vault, Azure DevOps, Intra ID, Agent 365 for security, governance, and operations. So overall, this solution delivers faster procurement decisions, better planning, safe contract checks, and strong governance with humans in control where needed. Over to you, Greg.
Thanks, Sumit. Appreciate you sharing that. Let me just pull the webinar deck back up. And Harry, I will skip over to you to lay the foundation for your use case as well.
Yeah, thank you, guys. So now let's look at another real-world use case showing how a multi-agent system can transform a core business process, in this time in the legal industry. So let's roll the video.
Are your contract reviews under tight deadlines? Reviewing NDAs manually can take hours, slowing down approvals, creating bottlenecks, and exposing your organization to compliance risks. But what if you could accelerate the entire review process accurately, consistently, and without all the manual effort? Introducing Multi-Agent Contract Compliance Reviewer. It brings together intelligent agents to organize workflows, summarize key clauses, flag risks, and verify compliance. From hours of manual work to confident decisions in minutes. Ready to approve contracts faster and smarter? Discover more today.
Thank you, Greg. Okay, so well, here we can see how a multi-agent system comes together on Azure to solve a real business problem. The user, in this case, interacts with through a simple web experience, while behind the scenes, Azure provides the secure cloud foundation for compute, storage, and orchestration. Container packages. Containers package both the front end and the back end, pulling models like GPT 5.2 through Microsoft Foundry. And the Foundry's agent service and the agent framework coordinate multiple specialized agents, each focus on tasks like contract analysis and compliance checks. While Cosmos DB and storage persist the context and the history. The result is an end-to-end scalable AI architecture that turns complex contract reviews into a fast, automated, and governed process. So now let's move on to the next slide so we can take a look at some of the results and the outcome of this solution.
This demo shows how the multi-agent contract compliance reviewer uses AI agents to streamline contract reviews, saving time, reducing risk, and ensuring compliance. Meet Liam, a compliance counsel. Liam is tasked with reviewing a contract from Contoso to ensure it aligns with internal policies and regulations. He needs to check key clauses like confidentiality and governing law, while flagging missing or ambiguous language. Here's how the multi-agent contract compliance reviewer works. Liam opens the contract review team workspace and submits a quick task. Review Contoso's contract document. Provide a summary, parties, date, term, governing law. Assess risks, high, medium, low with clause references. Audit compliance against company policy and suggest edits for any issues. The planner agent interprets the prompt and sequences the workflow. Liam reviews the plan and approves it with a single click. The system then activates specialized AI agents. Summary Agent condenses the contract into a clear overview, highlighting critical clauses like confidentiality, governing law, and term length. Risk Agent flags potential issues, such as ambiguous language or missing clauses, assigns severity, and explains the rationale for each risk. Compliance Agent checks the NDA against internal policies and regulatory standards, surfacing gaps that need remediation. Finally, Liam sees everything in one place: risks, compliance gaps, and key clauses, ready for quick decisions. Reviews that once took hours now finish in minutes, reducing manual effort and providing clear compliance and risk insights. This demonstrates how multi-agent workflows boost accuracy and speed without being tied to any specific product, empowering you to explore and build similar solutions. Key features. The multi-agent contract compliance reviewer creates a unified, intelligent workspace for complex contract reviews. With context-aware reasoning, it handles multi-step tasks accurately and recruits specialized agents for summarization, risk analysis, and compliance checks. A well-architected framework aligned architecture ensures secure, enterprise-grade reliability. Business outcomes. Automated workflows cut review time from hours to minutes. Scalable orchestration delivers consistent, high-quality results while reducing manual effort. Combined with secure data and responsible AI, organizations gain faster decisions, improve compliance, and a competitive edge. This wraps up our demo. For more details, head to github.com and explore how to build your own multi-agent contract compliance review solution.
Oh yeah, this is just a couple of scenarios. We are excited to learn about your use cases and well, co-create what's next. So back over to you, Gregory.
Thanks, Harry. Appreciate that. All right, team. So just to highlight again, next steps on how to begin this agentic AI journey. As I mentioned at the top of the hour, please feel free to reach out to our team here at Xoriant. We partner closely with Microsoft in any and all engagements. And all of our pre-sales activities are completely free of charge to you all. So feel free to reach out to us. We'll provide our contact information in a few slides later. But our general workflow is we will have an initial discussion with you all, discuss what your organization's needs are, specific use cases. We're happy to have one-to-one workshops with you all to dive deeper into current technology stack, current manpower that you're using within to start that agentic AI journey. And then we'll provide a prioritized roadmap to help accelerate the journey. And then, of course, if and when it came time for actual implementation, we're happy to help alongside the Microsoft team. To give a little bit more information in detail as far as how our team works, again, if there's any Q&A that you need to have following today's discussion, if there's a specific use case in mind, we may have already implemented it for another customer. We're happy to talk through any type of framework designs as far as how we can make it happen for you all. So we'll schedule that initial session to better understand what it would take for your end state objectives there, move into an ideation discussion where we'll really start presenting some high value use cases that are industry specific to you. Step 3 is where we actually conduct some discovery and assessments. A lot of customers like to have an MNDA in place before we get to this step. And this just allows us to take a peek behind the curtain, better understand your data estate, and again, how we're going to connect all the sources and provide the end objective to you all. And then step 4 is a full end-to-end solution proposal where we'll give you the entire development effort of what it would take for Xoriant to work alongside your team to actually deliver the solution. We'll provide, of course, any type of ACR estimates that are associated with the solution itself. We'll give a high-level proposed architecture diagram as well. And then we'll obviously work with you to define some clear business value and ROI projection as well. We do understand every single use case, especially nowadays. It's especially important when we're having those discussions with either the C-suite or any type of business decision makers that we also present an ROI alongside any of these solutions itself. So happy to partner with you all as far as having that conversation. We're even open to having those workshop discussions with any stakeholders you believe would be necessary for receiving buy-in. Talk through any type of contingencies, whether it be security, privacy concerns, data concerns. We're happy to bring in Sumit, Harry and the Microsoft team, and anybody else in our team that we need to make this solution possible for you. So what we want to leave you with is just to contact us and call to action. So as you see on the screen here, this is Sumit and I's emails for contact information. Anytime you need, we're happy to have this discussion. I am again on the West Coast here in North Carolina, or on the East Coast here in North Carolina, and Sumit is located on the West Coast in California. So split the time difference. Any time of the day works for us. And then again, we can pull in Harry and his team to aid in that discussion and give a Microsoft perspective. But really appreciate the time today. Thank you so much for joining. We'll be following up within this next week with the recording as well as the presentation deck. And feel free to reply directly to that and we can have a further discussion. So what you'll also see in the last deck is the AI strategy roadmap, business guide to AI solutions, and best practices to accelerate AI skills. So feel free to send that along to any of your team members that weren't able to join today. We're happy to meet and discuss further of how we can accelerate any type of AI transformation. So team, if there's no other questions, again, this concludes today's content for this webinar. I really appreciate the participation and hope to be in touch with you all soon. Thanks again. Have a great Tuesday.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.